The legendary trail angel, Diego. That's the morning shot. So I met Diego in 22. He's a trail angel doing, honestly, all trail angels do amazing stuff out here, and it's different what they do, but he's all over trail helping out and doing a ton of good stuff for hikers. Good guy. Anyway, we're talking about a side adventure since Denverman and I apparently are staying in town another day. Denverman told about there's a jacuzzi here outside and a pool. So it's like hot and cold. He's like, I'm gonna be in that all day. So that's what's gonna happen. I think it's very good for Denverman's leg. He's been working on the knee brace on his bad knee, but he's also mentioned he really wants one for his left one because I think they the altitude and everything is rough. So we might do a side adventure today. Which ended up being a zero, which was not planned, but you know, I think we're just gonna go with it, and then somehow in North Cal when we get up after the Sierra, when it's less snow and flattish, hopefully, then we're gonna have to truck some big miles, and hopefully we'll get there. And worst case, we're gonna miss a little bit up there, but one thing is, we're gonna be here for 6 months, and we're gonna hike a lot of miles, and I really hope we make it all. Yeah, and most important thing, we're gonna have a lot of fun, lose a lot of weight, you know, mentally healing the body. But yeah, the Sierra it just takes some time to get through it. It really does. It's tough up there, but it's fun too. It's every kind of, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get him and get some breakfast. Hey, we went to the breakfast again, and yeah, we spent some on donation from Bethany on breakfast yesterday. And we're definitely spending it today as well. Chicken fried steak. What are you having, Devin, man? Alabama omelet? Yeah. Thank you, Bethany. Alright. Oh yeah. Forgot to show last night, but we did go to the pool and the spa. See if there's no one here. I'm just gonna show you. But there's someone swimming. I'm not gonna put a camera in their face. That feels a little warm, right? We'll see if there's anyone there. Nope. And I think the pool is open until like 1 p.m. They close it like 4 hours at night, probably just to, you know, do stuff. There we go. We got the spa right over there. So pretty nice. Yeah. I mean, we kind of got done with stuff yesterday, so we could hang out today, but I think we're taking zero. I think Damn It Man was kind of requesting a day off, heal his legs and recover. So we're doing a zero, and I want to see if we can do an interview with Diego, legendary trail angel out here, the guy you saw in the start of the video, just driving by. And I met him in 2022 up around Chester, where he actually gave me a ride to a post office and helped me out. He does a lot of stuff for the trail, help with backhands. He's been like calling everyone, all post office, I think a year or two ago, getting updates and all that, updated our file app. Pretty much every post office on the trail. Ooh, dude, this bench is not built for PlusOne. Hey, you're going great. You joined us dinner last. I forgot who it's related to. I think it's one of the brothers. He's a brother to someone, so it's not a hiker. Anyway, great guy. We'll try to do an interview with him later. Diego. And we're also going on a side adventure with him. He's just bringing up Tractor or Oliver, the German guy that we shared a room with and got a ride with down yesterday. And so Diego texted me. I actually talked with him a bit last year when I was out doing a section 2, because there was some stuff going on trail. So yeah, he texted me like, hey, you want to go on a side tour? Those, you know. So they think there is like a Japanese internment camp. You know, it was for like the World War II. So he was like, do you want to go see that? I'm like, let's go learn some history. So yeah, we're gonna take a few hours and go do some sightseeing with him, and then I think Damn It Man is gonna use the pool and the spa, the hot tub, rest his knees and recover. And then we're gonna hike out tomorrow. We got a ride planned out tomorrow morning. Hopefully, we're gonna confirm it later, so it's pretty good. Just had a great breakfast. Also had one yesterday. I try actually to track some of all like the donations, like what we spend them on. And I did realize we had a sum of it, and I haven't showed all of it lately, I'm sorry, I mentioned it before. But I realized we had a donation for Bethany, and I used a bunch of it also for some stuff when we were, when I was injured, because that cost some extra to, stay there and keep going. So yeah, we kind of used the last bit of it for some really good breakfasts, which was a little more It's a little more pricey than other options we could get for, but it's highly recommended. Like they literally right now, let me zoom in. Right there, the cafe, bakery, they have a waiting list right now. That's how popular it is. So I mean, it's worth the money. It's so good, and it's just nice getting food that's not, you know, we could go McDonald's and get a cheap whatever, right? But it's just trash. And the body just works better and better food. Quality food, worth it. Anyway, let's go on a side tour.
Hi all, I am still alive. I'm headed into Bishop. Very excited for some town food. And I've heard there is karaoke, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I'll catch up to +1 and Damn It Man soon, but I don't know, we'll see. It's hard to say.
All right, we're about to go on a side adventure, so I'm gonna tape up my foot again. You know, I had the heel when my skin came off. So a little warning, I'm gonna show to you right now. It's not too bad, but yeah, hiker feet ain't the best, but it's actually kind of healing up. Right there was no skin on, so now we actually got a layer of skin, but it's still very soft. And I'm not really trying to peel the other, I'm just let it heal. So tape it up, and should be good to go. All right, I'm gonna tour. So I think doing when it happened in World War II when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, as Keiko just told me, you know, if you were like a Japanese American, they pretty much rounded you up and put you in these camps. So it didn't matter. You could come from farm life, being a ranch owner, anything. And yeah, they told me then when the war ended, just opened up the gates and like, you're free to go. But of course, they probably lost everything. So he hasn't been here, so we don't know, but we'll check it out. So by the looks of it, they, what was it, several thousand, I don't know how many thousands acres of it was, but they ended up actually using all this to produce rubber for the war machine, technically, you know, for gas masks, lifeboats, bombers, you know, you need tons of rubber to produce all these things. And they produce a lot of it here. It's the model of it. This only represents what was inside the barbed wire fence, they say. You see the little gate towers there, all the way around. I think 8 of them, 11,000 people. Damn. So this is part of the section. You see these houses here? They'll be like all the way down here on lines. I think the one around behind here, those were like a double one. And then it looks like they had the latrines in the middle. I think it's laundry in the last one. Well, of course there's no house left, but. And then there would just be like this block, right? And there was like multiple of them, as you saw on the little mini map in there. It's kind of wild. We just went on a little side tour out here, Damn It Man and I, with Outside Jay. Outside Jay. Woo! There he is.
Yeah. Took him on a side quest to Manzanar, the Japanese internment camp, which is just outside of Lone Pine, between Independence, which is to our north, and Lone Pine, which is on our south. So I think we're about like 9 or 10 miles north of Lone Pine.
There we go. And I met Outside Jay. He gave me a ride over the north in 2022. And I talked with him quite a bit last year because there were some things going on trail. And then this year, yesterday, people are looking for Jay. And who is there? It's Jay. I'm like, I'm looking all over for him. So
right
one
on.
thing I know that I have mentioned to other hikers he's famous for the last few years is he's running a bear can operation. I don't know how to say it. It's a very non-profit, all
For the
volunteered.
bears, everything for the bears.
Everything for the bears.
It's basically I'm buying used bear cans and or accepting donations of used bear cans. I'm putting your name on that bear can, hopefully getting a picture of you with your name on the bear can, and then I am lending it for free to next year's hikers. And I've worked out with KMS and with Donner Summit that you get free pickups at KMS, and free drop-offs of at Donner Summit of bear cans. So you get free use of bear cans, unlimited use of bear cans, no return clean clause because I'll return them. I'm a nurse. I'll clean them. I'm a nurse. And then you can drop them off for free on trail at Donner Summit where you don't need them anymore. So it actually can't get any.
It can't get better than that, man. That's pretty epic.
It is that, and once I put your name on it, I'm going to try to, like next year when someone is using PlusOne's or Cuz's bear can, next year what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Cuz and PlusOne who's got their bear can and where is it. Hopefully one of these days I get to QR code it and and you get to like check in where your bear can is, so that previous users of that bear can knows where that bear can is.
I love how you add that whole extra step there. Not only is it all free and all, because I know that's a lot of work and I've been following it for a few years with it. So I'm guessing this year you're pretty much out of bear cans.
I am definitely out of bear cans this year. I am buying used bear cans, or I'm trying to budget out to buy used bear cans. It does cost me a lot to do all of this and offer you the worst business plan on trail ever.
Exactly.
But like I said, it's all free. So
well, we all appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
There's another thing I noticed. I forgot if it was last year when you did it, but there's also, if you see a post on file as a hiker, you call pretty much every post office to get updated information, I think, on the entire trail.
Oh yes,
you posted that.
Yeah. So after 22 and 23, I realized that you guys were having such a difficult problem with different post offices mailing resupply boxes. And I had no idea how different each post office was. Even like some of them, like 4 of them don't answer ever. And so I have to physically drive to that post office to get any real information. So what I've done now is in January, I start calling every single post office on trail. And then what you can do currently is go to whatever post office icon there is and go to whatever post office icon there is, go to the comments section on Far Out, and then just scroll to the very beginning of the year. And I have all the instructions and even some town things that are from other hikers that have told me, hey, include that in it. Like if you can't send it to there, or like I don't recommend sending it to the Truckee post office or the South Lake Tahoe post office. Not that they're not well run, it's just they never pick up their phone. And so if you're trying to bounce your box forward remotely, they won't pick up your phone. So you have to find a TA to Trail Angel to pick up your box.
To actually come in there. That's good info.
So I recommend some places have receiving businesses or readily supportive TAs in that town. And so it's so much easier to just send your box to that TA or that business or that town, as opposed to having to deal with headaches of. Now that is, I also recommend some post offices send your stuff too. I mean, Etna, Wrightwood, Cascade Locks, Sade Valley, those places will bend over backwards for your packages. So I always recommend to send those to that post office. So anyway,
it's funny you mentioned Wrightwood, right? That's what I keep saying. It's one of the most hiker-friendly towns I've ever been to.
Yeah, no, Etna and Wrightwood are definitely top 1 and 2. So definitely spend time in Etna and Wrightwood for sure.
I might have asked you this in front of 2, but also my interest, like how did you get into being a trail angel on PCT? Like what drove you out here?
Yeah.
Because you were all over trail. Like,
let's see, let's put Lone Pine in the Mount Williamson in the background for that one. Let's see. I was a ski patroller at Sierra Tahoe for a long time, and Sierra Tahoe is about 3 miles from Echo Summit. I also spent most of my summers paddling and hiking and in Desolation Wilderness, so I know that entire area from literally from Sonora Pass all the way up to like Quincy area. I know like the back of my hand from all of my other adventures, and I just kept running into hikers, and it got more and more involved. I didn't even know I was a trail angel until I actually was trail angeling a German woman with a super thick accent, and I actually made her spell it out what I was, because I couldn't understand what she was calling me. And she said Angel, and I just kind of remembered, oh yeah, Angel. And then I reread a book made by a couple of friends of mine, Dustin and Angela Ballard, who wrote A Blistered Kind of Love about how they met on trail, eventually got married, and Duffy was a physician of mine. Dustin Ballard was a physician at the hospital I worked with, and so we got to know each other that way. I reread their book, and there's an entire chapter about trail angels. So that's when I learned that I was actually a trail angel, and what the German hiker was calling me, that I was her trail angel. So that made all sense. And then I do a lot of adventure sports up and down the east side of the Sierras. I do a lot of whitewater rafting, whitewater kayaking. I used to do a lot of climbing. I had climbing buddies in Mammoth and Bishop, so I would see hikers there. I didn't even know the PCT would go there, but after I started to get to know them, what I would do is, we all worked off index cards back then, and we'd give a index card with my name and phone number, and I would say, hey, when you get to Tahoe, give me a call and I'll help you out when you get around to Tahoe. Nice. So did that for a couple of years, and I remember 2017 and then 2018, 2019, and unfortunately started picking up, were the first fires where I was taking people off trail, and we started skipping large portions, or larger and larger portions of trail. And I remember that never happened before 2017. You guys would start in Campo and go to Mexico, and the Sobos would go Canada to Mexico. But around 2017, we were skipping the Tamarack fire, and then 19 was the Dixie fire, and then Caldor hit my resort, and then the Park fire last year. So it just got more and more involved with all the skipping. And then 23 snows, the skipping there. And then with all the skipping, the resupplies got really hard. So now you guys would, like the entire town of Quincy was evacuated for the Dixie fire. And
I remember that one,
Yeah, so you guys would try to figure out where to send your box to, whether send it forward or back, or were you gonna work your way forward, or you gonna work your way back and get your box back? It was just chaotic for you guys, and I just remember feeling kind of powerless alongside of you guys to help you guys out. Even though I had a car and I could drive you guys didn't know where your boxes were going to be or what was going on. And it was like, I remember specifically, it was like you had plan A was no longer existent, but plans B through Q all had horrible consequences behind each choice. So if you chose plan B, then it had a horrible consequence. You chose plan F, it had a horrible consequence. And so that's when I just started kind of trying to help you guys out more, trying to tell you guys at that point that the trail is changing, and I started advocating for, don't send your resupply boxes, don't send them ahead of time, only send them like a week or two ahead of time, send them from trail instead of that, just because if a fire breaks out.
I think that's a good recommendation, because that's really our experience too. So I'm a foreigner, right, coming in, and it's, I keep telling other foreigners, get some American friends over here so you can send your stuff and get it resupplied that way. And even like, as you say, there could be a fire, it messes everything up, and you miss your resupply box. And you don't know what you want in a month anyway.
And then like last year, the Whiskey Mine fire happened right north of Cascade Locks. And so you picked up your resupply box at Cascade Locks, and then you had a full resupply box at Cascade Locks. You had a full resupply box at White Pass. So now you had two full resupply boxes that you're trying to throw into hiker boxes everywhere. And then, Snoqualmie Pass was another resupply box. So you couldn't possibly eat all this food that you were sending yourself. And so you were using up a lot of money. Plus it costs money to send boxes now. And before, we actually did have a bounce back system where you could just like reclose it, retape it, and bounce it forward again, which is non-existent. So now you're paying more for each time you bounce a box and things. So it's not that it's not as friendly anymore. But
I also love the fact when you said in the beginning you didn't know what a trail angel is. The amount of people in this year have met, right? And they're like, oh, I'm not a trail angel, I don't know what that is. No, I'm just giving you a ride. And I give you a ride. I'm like, no, that's exactly what a trail angel is all about.
Yeah, there's different forms of trail angel. I'm one of many. There's thousands of trail angels, and some of them are so devoted. A lot of them are devoted to the one day they're providing trail magic, but they put so much effort in that one day. It's equivalent to me for an entire season of effort.
We had one guy coming out, and I think he does it every year. He come out on his birthday. Edgar was his name. I know he's watching my channel as well. This guy pulls up in his Tesla. He's like, "You PlusOneHikes?" Yeah. I brought you steak, and he brought the whole, like, all the fresh vegetables, cooking, everything. It's like, 20 hikers there.
Yeah.
There's different kinds, but we love all of you.
Yeah, there's definitely different kinds.
That was Outside Jay.
Cheers,
a true legend of a trail angel out here.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more question for Jay. It's going to be out without the mic, because I forgot about it. Of course, I'm going to get the questions. The hoodie. The hoodie.
Yeah.
Can people get it, or is it a limited thing for only hikers, or what is it?
So the original plan was these hoodies I was going to sell at cost of $30 to hikers that I trail angel.
All right.
And then a bunch of hikers were foreigners, and so I wanted to get them, so I would mail theirs to it. And then of course the tariff wars got me. So with the tariff wars, I can't figure out what to do. If things calm down and I can afford them again, I have to buy them. I have to front buy them ahead of time. Once I get the shipment, then I sell them to you individually. So I still have to front the money, and I can't afford 145 or 30% or whatever the percentage is.
Yeah.
If you can bring it back down to 30 cost price, then it's kind of worth it for me to buy and sell them for $30.
It's a cool thing. Not only are we going to get questioned, but we also found the origin of the shirt. This is the guy. Thanks, man.
From last year's hiker, Kimchi Wander, whose husband made her one shirt, but I talked him, I connived him into selling me more shirts. If I bought them in bulk. Because he had one shirt made and it cost him a lot. So.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, thank you, man.
Cheers.
All right, we're back in the grocery store. Went over to Go. Long interview, all few things to say, so that's good. And he found us in a hiker box. I'm like, those are cool. Like, what brand are they? He's like, you can just have these and I'll find others. So we'll try out these little mics. Thanks, Jay. We'll try them out. Okay. And it's 1 o'clock, so I gotta fix the rest of my food. Mostly just pack it. I think I got everything I need. Maybe a little too much. I'm gonna get a drink in here, get some snacks, and I think we're gonna hit the pool and this bar. That's gonna be like our whole hot treatment, which is really good for the legs, muscles, healing, everything. This is good. So yeah. I don't think we have much else to do. Pack our stuff and rest the body for today. That's the plan. And I might get one of those hoodies, but I could have shipped it because I need one of them. But I might lose more weight. Maybe I'll get one later that fits, or I'll text to Jay later and we'll see. I'll get one of the PCT hoodies. Because they're cool. And they're good for hiking too, I hear. It is a sun hoodie, so. But I tend to wear my hoodies out. They just fall apart. And I would like to actually have that hoodie maybe later. It's a cool hoodie. It's a good memory of the PCT. Either way, thanks for watching, everyone. Please hit the like, the thumbs up, do the subscribe for PlusOneHikes. Thank you. Supermarket also just saw this. So they have a full selection here of Mountain House meals, which is pretty good. Ton of beef jerky if you need any of that. Bars, candy, big packs of bars and candy, value packs. So pretty good for hiking. All right, time for the most important thing. Head to the pool. Get in the cold water, then get into the jacuzzi, hot water, and the cold and the hot. Let's do that for a few hours. Apparently the milk I just bought, that wasn't good. It's supposed to be fine, but it wasn't. And I know my milk. So I pulled that out. I guess it's return to the store and get a new one. You know, it's like $4, but oh, thank you. So, what can you do?
Part of the Pacific Crest Trail is closed in Washington as a police search for a man accused of killing his 3 daughters.
Damn it, man. Wow. My pool shot just turned into something else. just a shout out to Outside Jay that was on a trip with today. He just started a YouTube channel, so we'll see what he ends up posting there. But he's an amazing PCT trail angel, and he did ask me a few questions, so I might be in one of the videos. His YouTube is called PCT Outside J, just one word. Yeah, check him out. And that's like cherry tomatoes in there, a whole cucumber, everything. Hopefully cherry tomatoes will survive. 8 tortillas, some tuna, pepperoni, cheese, mayo, and a little bit pack of cashew nuts. So I'm gonna be eating good the next 2 days, but it's heavy. But I'll go food a lot. Hopefully this works. At least it's good, healthy food. So it'll be nice. There we go. Timmy the Tool Man. We spent the last of your donation on pizza. It went for food and beer and pizza. Or food in Kennedy Meadows, so thanks, man. These are the hiker issues as a through hiker. The little things in life. This one broke. So I have a mix of, I have 2 cables. I have one here that's like 3 or 4 feet because it's long. I learned that. I used to have like small cables, but this is just so much nicer because, you know, it's in my phone. That way, if I'm charging at a wall, I can still use my phone. But this one broke, so this one is falling out, that little middle piece. And I had to buy a new one, and look how big it is. It's like 5 feet long. All they had, heavy, bulky. Bugger. You know, when you want to have lightweight gear and just not take up as much room, that sucks. But we got a new cable that works, so that's awesome. And yeah, Tim, we spent all your donation. Thank you so much. Also, I had a few other donations that we spent through the last weeks that I haven't fully mentioned, I'm sorry. And Bethany, you also sent a donation, I think, maybe a week ago, maybe a few more days in a week. And I did spend some of that actually for things to help fix my injury and stuff, so thank you so much. It also helped us to take some extra days to just rest, you know, my leg without completely destroying our budget. So thank you so much. And yeah, it just it means a lot to me and Emmett, man. Like, it really just, it makes the whole trip better. It's just a lot of time we would go to budget options, but through some of these donations from you, we can splurge a little bit more on things, which just makes it way more nice. Also, thing right now, right, is that allows us so we can go to the pool and the jacuzzi, which is good for the body. So thank you all. All right. So I'm sorry for the long video today. There was an interview of 11 minutes, that's why. I have really been working lately on making the, and I'm also working on looking in the camera over here, which is weird because I'm normally looking into my own eyes. That's why you don't see my, I'm working on it. I'm trying to get the videos down to like 15, 20 minutes, maybe around 20 or below. Just so it's easier for people to watch them every day and keep up, because I have a lot of friends and family at home that's also following and watching my journey, and they are sometimes like, they use my real names, right? And like, Alan, we can't watch 30 minutes a day. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. It's just sometimes there's just a lot of footage and I don't like to edit it all. And then sometimes it's just a long day, like today, because of the interview. That interview though is great. He's a great trail angel, and I think it's probably more directed towards potential future thru hikers and current thru hikers. There's a lot of good info there. Yeah. Also, I hope the voice is better. I just did this recording actually, and I'm redoing it completely different because I'm trying this headset that Jay donated to me. So I think that's going to improve my voice. I won't be using it while hiking because I don't want to lose it, but I'll try to use it more for interviews and other stuff when I have it around. I do apologize sometimes my audio is a bit low or scratchy or whatever, because in general I just use my phone. It could be that my Bluetooth headset, I keep forgetting taking it off, so sometimes I actually jump in the water with it. I guess it's so comfortable I don't even think it's there, so it might affect it a bit. There's also sometimes I speak very low, and that's sometimes because there's people sleeping around my tent, or I'm in town when there's people around, and I really try to not interrupt others and be polite. I ain't perfect, of course, but I really just try to be considerate of everyone around me. So that's why sometimes it's low. I have found a way that I can boost the volume when I'm doing the video edit, so sometimes I'll try that if it's low. Otherwise, I hope you can just turn up the volume at home more. I think that's about it for today. I'm gonna go down join them, man. There's a jacuzzi and a pool here, as I mentioned multiple times. It's so good for the legs, the cold to the hot, to the cold to the hot. So, sorry for a long video, but thank you everyone for supporting me. Please hit the like and subscribe, and see you tomorrow.